In today's video, we visit Thailand's deep south, a place that most people have never heard of and the country would most likely prefer to keep it that way. The region is aggressively controlled by the military and features a varying level 3 to 4 travel warning by most world governments, apparently concerning enough that travel insurance is generally void upon entry. But is it really as dangerous as they say? Join me as I journey across southern Thailand's red zone and try to figure out what the situation is really like.
Greetings and good morning from the small port city of Donsak, heading towards the southern bit of Thailand. Today is particularly interesting because we're heading to the more complicated, maybe more interesting, I mean that's hard to say, areas of southern Thailand that are the red zone. Now, for those that don't know, the red zone of Thailand is either do not travel or avoid all essential travel by most world governments. And it is for lack of a better word, they're functionally speaking, a state full of terrorists.
This one might need some explaining. Thailand's deep south is unlike the rest of the country and nearly devoid of the tourists that scatter across the nation year-round. The states of Pattani, Yala, and Narathiwat have been under a strict government lockdown for over 20 years now. Functionally, the south has become what is a military police state with regular bombings, shootings, and assassinations, leading to over 6,000 civilian deaths. While the violence peaked some years ago, there is still a medium-level insurgency of quite a few thousand strong that are at odds with the Thai government. As of today, there is still no clear political resolution.
A few weeks ago, there was a big bombing on one of the police checkpoints. But generally speaking, it's not like Islamic terrorism in Europe, where civilian and Western targets be quite kind of broad. These are usually attacks targeting specific things: police checkpoints, government officials, mayors, teachers, and even monks. Now, before embarking on this long and treacherous journey to the terrorist states of the south, you need to find something to eat. We have a big market area, various snacks. Today we're keeping it simple and just starting at the most popular breakfast location in all of Thailand. There it is. The 7-Eleven.
After a 7-Eleven breakfast of squid tentacles and shrimp chins, it's time to hit the road. Our first stop on our drive is the city of Hat Yai, an odd city with Malaysian, Islamic, Chinese, and Thai influence just on the outskirts of Thailand's mysterious red zone.
Well, that's mission accomplished. We survived the most dangerous thing that we'll be in today. The 7-Eleven.
It may sound a little unserious, but 7-Elevens are actually one of the hotspot locations for terror attacks and bombings, with 11 since just January.
Been driving for a few hours now, and it was about 2 hours actually. We've gone through a few checkpoints, but they've been pretty easy to get through because, well, at least from what I've read, they're open for the most part. They only stop suspicious looking vehicles.
I'd like to mention that I do not personally recommend driving a car in Thailand. Probably at all, especially if you aren't used to dodging suicidal motorbikes and having truck drivers that have Brad Pitt mud flaps running you off the road.
There's been some road closures. The way that I wanted to go is blocked off by the military, so we have to take a slightly different way. Other than that, it's just a big demographic change. Over 100 years ago, this place was Malaysian at one point, and that really has set the atmosphere.
It's an atmosphere that becomes increasingly noticeable as we continue our drive, where we see some vandalized imagery of Thailand's king, which is an offense that can lead to 6 to 12 years of jail time. After a few more hours of driving, we've arrived in Hat Yai, the most stable city of Thailand's deep south and our frontier for the more restricted regions that will follow. There's a big market in the central area. Maybe we can get some food there before we head out into the more interesting parts of the provinces. There's the market, but there's no
parking at all.
The traffic here is horrendous. I'm looking for a famous Chinese and Malaysian halal market in the center of the city, and just to find parking took nearly an hour.
Finally found parking. The big market starts to our left. Something fun about this area is that it's everywhere is kind of its own like Malaysia town, Chinatown, right? Because Chinese immigrants coming here in the 1920s are half the reason the town was built up and turned into one of the largest cities in Thailand. Okay, I think we're getting closer to food-related things, maybe. This looks like Chinese food. Let's go here. I don't even know what they serve. Sawadee ka. Hello. Yes.
All right.
To choose the noodle type. This one. Rice noodle or this one actually. This one. Good noodle. Yeah. It has arrived. Egg, pickles, pieces of pork. It's fun to find all this pork in the Muslim city. But it's a Chinese area, so I'm gonna try the pork trotter, the pig feet. Oh, I appreciate some pig toes.
The various animal feet dishes were excellent. We asked the chef about the demographics here, just out of curiosity, and a decent percentage of the city is Malaysian Chinese or Thai Malay Muslims. Most people though are second or third generation, which means our Chinese language ability won't get us too far here.
Oh, well look at this. This whole dried fish. Oh, that's way too many. I could not possibly, I love these things. There's no way that I'd be able to eat all of them. There's like 100 in there, more than that. That's too many fish for me. And the car, I'll get fined by the rental company if the car smelled like that. Hello. Hello. It is so busy here. Every selection of dried fish, dried shrimp, dried fruit. Almost everything is halal. Oh, sorry, it's okay. This is interesting. We have a shrine here, but most of the vendors are Muslim. This is a proper market. It's like a souk. So much dried fruit. Once again, candies, biscuits. Yeah, it's a bit of a traffic jam. Okay, the time is now to move along into more complicated places.
Unfortunately, we're a little behind schedule, so we're going to head to Pattani, the place where the rebellion started, pay a visit to the mosque where all the conflict began, the pilgrimage site for the rebels.
Hat Yai to Pattani is only a 2-hour drive, assuming not too many police checkpoints, that is. I want to get to the famous mosque before sundown, so we need to get on the road quickly.
You can see the demographic change more and more since there's a lot of different things. I mean, there's a mosque behind me at the rest stop. The rest stops all now have this. Places to pray. We're about to enter the Pattani region itself. One of the 4 states will be leaving the Songkhla state, entering the Pattani state. Pattani is one of the first places to convert to Islam back in the 1400s when Muslim merchants made their way to Southeast Asia for the first time. This is the kind of place where your odds of something bad happening to you is quite low, but there are attacks every day. But there are security personnel, right? Not tourists. I mean, there aren't really any tourists, but it's not going to be an issue, I don't think. But we should probably be expecting a lot of security checkpoints, maybe some strange questions, confused as to why the f*** that we have wandered this far.
As we head further south, the military and police checkpoints become frequent. Like, really frequent, maybe every 15 minutes or so. There are blockades, concealed gunmen in towers, and military patrols. And I know that their presence makes the area safer, but there's a hint of unease in the air due to the abundance.
Oh my god, look.
That was the entrance checkpoint to Pattani.
The sun is already starting to set, so let's find the rebel mosque before it gets dark.
Is the Cruz Mosque, which is historically significant because it's kind of the birthplace of a rebellion in this area. There were over 30 people cornered in this mosque, many of them executed executioner style by Thai police, stimulating an age-old conflict from hundreds of years and bringing it back to the surface. The mosque is also of historical significance as it is one of the first mosques in all of Southeast Asia. The internet's still blocked. I've got no access to internet, nothing. I'd look up some fine details to be able to explain the situation more. Maybe I'll voice over it right now.
At the earliest, this mosque was built somewhere between 1578 and 1593. There's a debate on its age due to the reuse of old materials in other Southeast Asian mosques. Today it's known for something very different. In 2004, Islamic insurgents took cover here and fought the Thai military, where all 32 gunmen were killed. The Minister of Defense urged restraint and a peaceful resolution due to the high tensions in the southern states, but those orders were ignored.
Okay, that was a good historical moment. It's time to move on. The sun's going down and we have a night drive in red territory for the next maybe hour and a half or so.
I still haven't successfully got my phone approved by the police, so the regional cell blocking's preventing me from booking a hotel online. Looks like tonight I'm picking one at random. If I can find something that's even mostly acceptable, I'll be satisfied.
Mission accomplished, at least for the night. I had doubts because there was no signage on the back. Okay, we've made it. Sawadee ka.
You have a third spot?
Okay.
Okay, 550 baht.
Alright, let's go take a look.
หรือว่าเช็คชั้น2ดีกว่าไหมพี่แนน
Oh, this is very nice. Yeah, very nice place. Is this city safe?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I read on the news, maybe.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
I think medical here for the news or something.
Ah,
But
okay,
here,
okay.
I think it's safe.
Okay, first step of the day. We're gonna head to Narathiwat, which is it's kind of up in the air, but it is the most dangerous of the southern states. I think there's not much going on there actually right now. So we'll see if anything interesting happens, but right now, since I don't believe foreign credit cards are going to work, once I make it that far south, I need to find a bank, restock on some money. Using a ATM as a foreigner in Thailand is actual shit. Because half of them don't take your card, but that's true in most countries. The reason it's shit is particularly because it charges you like $7 every time you use it.
Yeah, at another checkpoint. This one's actually got people held up. But it looks like they're just saying hello and moving along. Let's see if they ask us any questions. Sawadee. Yeah, these checkpoints are getting more and more intense. More military equipment, a lot more guns. Kind of stopping us. They didn't check my passport. I don't think they needed that. They just want to see who's behind the wheel. Okay, now we're entering the most complicated region. I believe we just entered it just now. The deeper I get into the province, the less internet I have. It went from data only to now nothing at all. Everything is blocked. So hopefully I don't need to reset my GPS, because if I do, I did not download the maps prior to coming here.
As I continue my drive south, I'm noticing even tighter security than before. Towers with gunmen, large blockades, and a huge military presence seem to dominate the entirety of my route. I'm heading to the Wat Chantara Singh Temple. a mostly abandoned Buddhist landmark built by the Siamese to assert a land border and prevent British Malaysia from expanding, are expected to be a quiet place, now that there are very few Buddhists left in Thailand's deep south, and maybe even more so due to the attacks and killings on monks within the region.
This is a very tiny road.
There's 2 lanes, but they're really easy.
Yeah, this is not really 2 lanes. The car's as wide as both of them combined.
Okay, the temple should be somewhere up here on the left. Okay, this is a very quiet temple. There's absolutely nobody here. Let's park here since no way, no one to tell us not to. At a glance, this looks like any other temple in Thailand, but this one's pretty significant. A lot of stuff's blocked off here, but the reason this place is significant is it's kind of the last blockade of colonialism moving into Thailand during the time where this was Pattani Empire. This region successfully, from this temple, was the stopping place from the British coming from Malaysia into Thailand. It's a quiet place, but there are still a few monks that live here. But only 2, according to the Thai. It's gotten to the point in this region, especially here, this far south, where when the monks collect alms, which is, the donations of food in the morning, the military has to guide, arrange, and block the monks due to the security situation, and that monks themselves have been a major target for not all, but some of the forces operating in this area. This one is the most famous. I couldn't find it, but you have to dig a little deeper. I didn't leave when I said I was going to leave. I wanted to find this building first, because this is the actual building, the historical one, where there were battles fought during the colonial era and a resistance of the British. It's, falling apart a little now, but okay, time to wrap it up. This place now is a home for stray dogs. And us for a moment in time. It's time to move along. That there, though, it used to be a museum, but it's all but blocked off. It used to showcase elements of resistance against colonialism, but now, due to a lack of visitors, a lack of security and safety, it's as closed as it could get. It's time to leave the temple and head into the city and see if this place is really as dangerous as they say it is. Yeah. So for the sake of security, the big C even has Islamic style, look. Yeah. To fit the theme here.
Yeah, that's it.
So there's a security check to enter the Big C, which is a chain supermarket all throughout Thailand and some other Southeast Asian countries, such as I think Myanmar and Laos. And there's a checkpoint to get into the supermarket. Would you look at that? To go to the supermarket, they check your car for bombs and they took my passport. It's funny, they have very religious restroom sign. The products here are kind of the same as they would be anywhere else. Maybe a little less pork. When you're in the Islamic capital, Thailand, and you have the Oreo ally pack. I still don't have cell service, so I found another hotel at random. Now that the sun is down, I heard that there's a big night market this evening, so I'd like to go investigate. Okay, checked in. And I'm gonna head off to local night market. So far, not successful at finding food. Instead, we found an event. There's a festival of some kind happening here.
Where do we get one of those?
I don't know.
Looks like the night market's been replaced with some kind of other activities. Something funny. The idea is to, you know, sort of lay low, right? But the sports announcer saw us and immediately announced I was here. Asked where I was from and said it on the telecom, or the announcing device, the loudspeaker. This is the food market. Yeah, there's a lot of food here. For Muslim and for Buddhist.
It was a bit uneventful. I ended up getting some chicken sausages and fried chicken.
As nice of an excursion as that was, it did not fulfill the purpose it was meant to, but it was entertaining.
I think I'm gonna call it here for the night. We managed to make it all the way south without getting blown up, although I think that's a pretty easy task. There's still one more place I'd like to visit before leaving the red zone entirely. Apparently, there are some strange Maoist and Stalinist villages hidden deep in the jungles here. I'd like to find them, so subscribe if you're interested in more, and I'll see you all next week.
What town is this? Gorilla Town. Welcome to Gorilla Town. And that is the end. Goodbye.